We're finally back with more Bob's Burgers. Gee, I love this show so much. I think I feel a song coming on. Hit it! Together again. Gee, it's good to be together again. I just can't imagine that you've ever been gone. It's not starting over, it's just going on. Anyway, Bob's Burgers Season 14 just finished. Just recently. Definitely did not get to this months late. Nope, no siree. Nah, but truth be told, I wasn't even sure if I'd give this season the big ranking video treatment because, well, I've already talked about most of these episodes in other videos, and the 3 I didn't talk about, I didn't have as much to say. But I did rank all of Season 13, so I feel like I should complete the set, so here we go, Bob's Season 14 ranking, why not? This season was notably experimental when compared to previous seasons. I feel like the crew itself was thinking, okay, we're 14 seasons into this, let's try some new cool things. I think they really succeeded with some ambitious, creative, heartstring-tugging episodes. However, as a result, I do think the regular episodes kinda suffered a bit this season. You'll notice in my reviews, the more casual episodes were either much shorter videos, or segues into talking about other topics entirely. Safe to say, we're in for a very interesting list here, and it's only 13 episodes, so really, what are we waiting for? Let's dive right in. So, okay, a big part of why I just didn't cover the final 3 episodes of the season is because 2 of them are definitely some of the least interesting of the season. In fact, one of them is the single least interesting of the entire season. Wouldn't you know it? Yeah, Mission Impossible is just like, kind of nothing. Teddy gets trapped in a safe at a house of an eccentric client, and Bob has to go save him. A lot of this episode is just Bob trying to find the house where Teddy's trapped, which is like just kind of a boring stretch of the episode, and then once we finally get there and of course meet the client, it's definitely like, it's the highlight of the episode, but also the client himself just isn't nearly funny or wacky enough to satisfyingly pay off all the buildup he had. He's like a very low tier one-off character, did not care for him one bit. Combine this with a very forgettable subplot that admittedly I do like because restaurant shenanigans are fun. Yeah, easy loser of the whole season, sorry. Pick Lorette is one I already covered, and you're gonna hear that a lot throughout the video. I didn't have much to say on it then, and I still don't. I don't like Gretchen, but her relationship with her sister and the effort she puts into finding her the perfect strippers is surprisingly wholesome. Some funny jokes, Jen showed up and I clapped. Definitely the raunchiest episode in ages, which is notable. It really feels like the show got complacent being like, basically entirely family friendly, so it's fun that they put the adult back in adult animated sitcom. Yeah, I think that's all I gotta say. So let's just move right along. The Nightmare 2 Days Before Christmas does not hold up on rewatch. It's not a bad episode by any means. It's still some great jokes. Bob's random tasks and fear of the gory painting in Fish Odor's cabin slays me. However, that really is all there is to this one, huh? The actual plot with Linda trying to find her tree is just not that fun, more so tedious. It's like the worst kind of Linda story, at least in my opinion. They're all ones like this. Not a bad episode at all. Like, it really isn't, but it is kind of forgettable, and I definitely ranked it too high in my Bob's Christmas ranking. It'd be below Bleakening at least. Jeez. Jade in the Shade has some cool Prohibition stuff. That's a time period I actually find very interesting. Like, have y'all watched the Lackadaisy pilot and shorts? Utterly phenomenal. Like, legitimately one of my most anticipated shows ever. It's so good already, and we don't even have the first episode out. Cast is so expressive and likable, and oh my gosh, the animation is visually stunning. Like, that doesn't even begin to describe it, honestly. Like, it is ludicrously impressive for the budget, and oh my gosh, the music! The electric jazz, it's incredible. Oh yeah, anyway, this episode is good too. I enjoy Louise treasure hunt stories, and this one is fun. The highlight is definitely seeing all the references to the movie, like the Underpier and stuff. Like, I don't know if y'all know this, but I really like that movie. Logan being the antagonist fits. Pretty funny interactions with his mom. I just like seeing Logan again also, it's been a bit. I really enjoy the payoff of Fish Odor stealing the jade jellyfish and then selling it, only to find it's basically worthless. Funny stuff, and has a pretty wholesome rap. Subplot with the street performance was cute too. Yeah, I like it. pretty average episode. Go watch the Lackadaisy pilot though. That's fantastic. You should definitely go watch that. That's like, wow. It's like cats with guns, and they're doing prohibition stuff like stealing alcohol. It's so good and refreshing to see an adult cartoon that like is adult because of like subject matter. Like it's not just like swears and like vulgar jokes. It's like this is like just a time period that only adults find interesting, and that is cool. Like it's not for kids, but not be. Yeah, it's a cool show. Sorry. I'll get back to Bob's Burgers now. I'm sorry.
We're all gonna die.
Wharf Me Worry is one of those episodes that sprung into a completely different topic in my review video, more so talking about Bob and his dad's relationship overall, and yeah, I stand by what I said there. Great interactions between Bob and Big Bob. Great lower stakes, like Linda and Teddy subplot. That's great. A lot of funny jokes and lines. Big Bob and the Gorilla Plush is the best duo in the show. Lack of Mickey is disappointing. It's a very fun one. Please use Big Bob more in general. Also, go watch my Big Bob video. I think it's my most underrated Bob review video. Yeah. Escape from Witch Island is a very fun horror-themed episode where, thanks to the magic of drugs, one of Fish Odor's rich people friends goes feral and tries to kill the other rich people. Don't do drugs. Gandhi said that. Seriously though, don't do drugs. Anyway, very fun episode with some fantastic character animation with the kooky dancing and whatnot. I really enjoy this one, but I really don't have much else to say, so we're gonna move on.
Oh my gosh, I'm anxiety. Where can I put my stuff?
But Sweat and Fears is maybe the worst title of the season. Oh, what's your favorite Bob's Burgers episode? Oh, you know, But Sweat and Fears. Anyway, really solid finale portraying teen anxiety extraordinarily well. I enjoyed Tina's relationship with the other anxious guy, and the ending, while predictable, was nevertheless extremely sweet. Who wants to bet that we never see this guy again despite him being a great potential Tina love interest? Nah, I'm kidding. I love Jimmy Jr. Anyways, subplot was very creative too, with Teddy recreating the entire restaurant in the basement out of trash pallets. I love it! Super funny subplot. It ends exactly how you'd expect, but I love it anyway. Kind of a running theme in this one, huh? Yeah, I really like this one. Solid finale, even if obviously it can't match with Amelia last season. Though to be fair, sneaking suspicion that this episode wasn't written with being the finale in mind, given the season was obviously cut off thanks to last year's strikes. Obviously, that's completely understandable, just worth mentioning that, like, yeah, it's a good episode, but, like, is it finale-worthy? Not really. Don't think it's the crew's fault, though. Good time overall. Hey, look, one of those experimental episodes I was talking about. Now, I've been pretty open about how much I don't care for Gene. He's the one-liner machine, and his character very rarely gets much expansion otherwise. Oh, the laser-nth, my beloved. That's like the one time. I really felt for his character. Oh gosh, anyway. This is a Gene episode, and honestly, it's really great. Not only are all his dream sequences very inventive and funny, but the payoff of the mystical song Gene is searching for in his dreams, sucking real hard in real life, is super funny.
Saturday is when the week is done and you wanna have some fun. Saturday is the day that comes before Sunday, but it's still full of sun and you heat your buns in the sun. You heat your buns.
And pretty realistic to artistic struggles. I've had plenty of ideas that sounded great in my head, but then upon executing them, yeah, they were terrible. The ending song is super solid, and I really loved what this episode said about Gene's character and the process of creating art. A surprise winner, given my usual apathy to this character. I think I'm just gonna like this one more as time goes on.
There's a snake in my boot!
Fight at the Not Okay Chorale is a super fun episode that finally maybe phases out the anthology episodes that are usually my single biggest gripe with the entire show. Is that a hot take, by the way? Do people secretly love the anthologies? This way's just better, I'm sorry. I prefer the real world stuff. Like, it's just, it really just has that wonderful moment with Linda and Louise at the end that propels it. The Wild West story is great, though, with some of the best looking animation, backgrounds, and lighting of the whole show. Love all the Wild West designs, too. Louise's giant boots kill me. A really great start to the season. They really do tend to knock season premieres out the park. We don't talk about season 12 in this household in general. Also, this episode has a very mesmerizing horse. Like, he's just so mesmerizing. That's all I can say about him. Oh, yeah. I wonder if this is a sign that anthologies are leaving, or this season was just cut short, and next season will have the anthology that was planned for this season. We'll see. Also, did you notice the Pikmin gameplay that's been going on in the corner of the video the entire time? Yeah, thought I wasn't gonna acknowledge it. It's there!
My family moves around a lot.
Believe It or Not is a great episode that is entirely focused on one of my favorite characters in the whole show, Zeke. I mean, Zeke is just the perfect specimen. Look at him. Love what this does for his character and how it expands on things that were only hinted at through jokes. They brought back the fact that his family moves around a lot. Are you serious? Peak episode. Love Jimmy Pesto coming back too. Very classic story there, but like, honestly, who even cares? Trev is back, and Trev is like the most underrated comedic character on the whole show. Love him with all my heart. I think we'd be great friends. Super good episode all around. I absolutely dig it. Probably the highlight of the season if we're not counting episodes that have experimental elements. Actually, it definitely is. It's the highest one that doesn't have experimental elements. I used my video on Fraud of the Dead Zombie Docupocalypse as a jumping off point to discuss the animation of Bob's Burgers, and like, can you blame me? This is the best looking episode of the entire show, and it's barely close. But here I want to exclusively focus on the part I ignored in that initial video, so go watch that if you want to hear me rave about the stellar visuals. This episode isn't just drop dead gorgeous beyond belief, but it also has one of the most cleverly written Louise plots in the entire show, maybe. The fact we see her character arc in real life play out in the fictional movie she's making as she herself is figuring it out in real time is super cool, and it's just very well written. Subtle storytelling. I mean, yeah, they spell it out at the end, but like, oh well, it's still cool. Also, the episode's just super funny, and Louise and Tina deserve major filmmaking kudos. Like, this is pretty impressive stuff, considering their lack of experience. I mean, I guess Louise did make Meat Man, which is a cinematic masterpiece, so what do I know? The Amazing Rudy, the episode that chances are you've heard a lot about. I've seen so many videos pop up in my feed talking about this thing, and heck, even my review on it has 11,000 views, which is insane! And like, yeah, I'm not really sure what I can add now. In fact, if you haven't checked this episode out, do! A refreshingly honest look about how divorce can just screw up kids, despite the parents both being like, fine. Both his parents are trying, but they screw up. Louise's role is perfect. The friendship between these two is really special. It's a perfectly written episode. But I have something to say, okay? We're back. This is the second installment of wait, I need to actually see what I called this segment the last time I did it. Hold on. The second installment of the Startopus responds to a comment show. Yeah, here we go. It's everyone's favorite part. Woohoo! I got this comment criticizing Rudy's parents for not giving him a hug. But y'all, they give him a hug. Roll the clip. Look, hug. He is being hugged right there. Come on. Anyway, on to the big winner. Woo! Yeah, The Raccoon King and I is the best episode of the season, in my opinion, of course. Now, first off, super cool that the music from the Big Block Party is playing throughout the whole episode. I love that. Besides that detail, these are all fairly standard plot lines, but I maintain that they were executed the absolute best they could have been, despite the fact it's 3 plot lines at the same time. Bob's story about feeling inadequate is fantastic, definitely the highlight. Linda, Louise, and Teddy's Little King Trashmouth story takes up the bulk of the episode, but it's funny, so I don't mind. And of course, the culmination of the Block Party's music blaring as Little King Trashmouth and Gary reunite. Perfect moment, 10 out of 10, no notes. This episode is just so many great moments strung together. Funny moments, heartfelt moments. Moments that are both heartfelt and funny, and of course, yeah, one of my favorite scenes in the entire show now. After the manager of the band Bob likes talks cynically the whole episode, which propels Bob into a crisis, of course, we then get that moment where the manager changes his tune, explaining that even though the band is kinda depressed, they still love what they do when they're on stage, and they just have this pure joy spreading their passion and art into the world. And Bob connects with that and accepts his place, and man, it's so good, I love it. This episode actually feels very season finale, and when rewatching, yeah, I'll probably just save this one for last, honestly. I said it in my initial review, but that credit sequence with the younger Bob is really just the bow that wraps this whole thing up beautifully. Perfect episode. I absolutely love it. Anyway, so that was the ranking. Yay! Fantastic season all around. I think I like season 13 a little bit more. Its highs were just as high in my opinion, and it had, on average, better standard episodes. Though it was also like 9 episodes longer, so like that probably had something to do with it. Anyway, I will definitely be covering season 15 this September. Maybe not every episode, but definitely any that I think are worth talking about. Might do like business casual Topus videos on them, just unscripted raw thoughts right after I watch them. That way I can keep producing bigger episodes at the same time. We'll just see what happens. Thanks for watching, and subscribe and turn on notifications. It helps the channel, thanks. Or if you don't want to turn on notifications, just bookmark the subscription feed rather than the homepage. You will literally see everything the people you're subscribed to upload. What a wacky concept. Anyway, if you wanna hear me rank another Bob season, like, just recommend me a season. I'll rank it. Not 12.